Nothing in your plant collection is safe. Plant pests. Hello, fellow plant weirdos. It's your girl, Carmiel Marceline. If you aren't new to the channel, hey, welcome to the family. We unabashedly hyperfixate on plants here. And you know what else does? Plant pests, ones that just love to feast on the beautiful foliage of all my plants. And so today, I thought we could lighten the mood a little bit, talk about all the common ones that you've probably been exposed to, whether you wanted to or not. And honestly, we're going to test your knowledge. So I'm going to share 5 different plant pests. I'm not going to tell you what their names are. I'll show you what they look like, the typical signs and symptoms that your plant has these pests. And at the very, very end, that's when I'm going to do the big reveal and test whether you really know those pests. So let's get into it. Pest number 1. These actually aren't insects by any means. They have 4 pairs of legs and an oval-shaped body. Adults are honestly quite tiny. They can be half a millimeter long. Like that's like real tiny. Adults can have this reddish brown or pale color. These pests live in colonies under your leaves. They're so gross. And what they do is they pierce the plant tissue and they suck all of that nutrients up to the point where your plant leaf ends up turning yellow and dropping off completely. How you can tell that you have these plants, because it's very hard to see with the naked eye, is you can see webbing forming on the underside of your leaves as well as on any long stems. Can you guess this pest? Comment below your answer. Pest number 2. These are pink soft-bodied insects that are covered with this white fluff material. It almost looks soft, waxy, cottony, and it helps protect these pests from any excessive heat or even moisture loss. Male versions of this pest have wings, whereas females do not, and they're actually much easier to spot. What is pretty scary about this pest is that they are asexual, which means they can reproduce without mating whatsoever, which means you're likely going to have large populations happen in the blink of an eye. This pest is not picky. Whatever this pest can get its frickin' teeth on will go after your plant leaves, the stems, the roots even, the buds, the petals, you name it. Nothing in your plant collection is safe. As it's feeding on your plant parts and material, it leaves behind a discolored leaf and the sticky substance called honeydew, which honestly is not what I thought honeydew was, like the fruit. And it can really get sooty mold, like black sooty mold, which is gross. And what ends up happening as it continues to sap and suck nutrients, it really causes your plant's health to decline. Can you guess what this plant is? Comment down below to lock it in. Pest 3. These are small, and by small I mean 1/5 of an inch small. They have these fringed wings and cigar-shaped bodies that have brown, black, and yellow color markings on them. What's interesting about this pest is that they are not only really small, but they reproduce super quickly. They also hide in obscure places. It's not like the previous pests that is typically underneath the leaves. They hide inside plant buds, underneath leaf litter, in between pieces of bark, really anywhere they can get their frickin' teeth on. Because these are so hard to find, a lot of people end up tossing or giving away their plants that are infested with this pest. Signs that you likely have this pest is discoloration of the plant leaves, if they're yellow colored, bleached even, and leaves can even develop some markings like silvery streaks, brush strokes on them, and even the growing points can be distorted, bent, twisted, and lastly, you can see some black dots on those leaves because that is actually the fecal matter of this pest. Definitely don't want this pest in your collection whatsoever. Like I said, very hard to get rid of. So can you guess this pest? Comment down below with your answer to lock it in. Pest 4. These vary in size, color, and shape, but the most common form of this pest manifests as a soft, brown, rounded clump that attaches itself to the plant's leaves, to the stems. They are tiny. They are 1/8 of an inch big, which is smaller than the previous pest we talked about. They can also come in other colors like black and white. When you see this pest, it's usually a heavy infestation. You're not going to see just one in isolation. These manifest in terms of clumps and clusters, and they're commonly found on any thick parts of your plant's leaf. So for instance, on the stem or even where there are ridges of your different plants, because that's where a lot of the nutrients is. Most common signs that your plant has this pest is through yellowing leaves, any kind of leaf discoloration, premature leaf shedding, sticky substance is left behind, black sooty mold, all of that stuff. Can you guess what this pest is? Let me know down in the comments to lock in your answer. Pest 5. These are tiny insects that are about 1/8 of an inch, similar to the last pest we talked about. They also come in a variety of colors: green, yellow, orange, red, beige, pink, and black. They are found in the center of new growth shoots, or I call them spears as well. Shoots, I guess, is a less negative name. Anyway, and they also grow underneath plant leaves. They love new growth. I don't know why particularly, but they will completely cover them. The first sign you see if you have this pest is sticky leaves. They'll also curl and yellow. You'll have wilted plant leaves. You'll have stunted growth. You'll have sooty mold on your leaves. Not the best, to be honest. So can you guess what this pest is? Let me know down below in the comments to lock it in before we do the final reveal. You made it to the end of the video. Was your plant pest knowledge put to the limit? Were you truly tested? Let's do the test answer reveal. Pest number 1 with the webbing, a spider mite. Pest number 2 with the white fluff, mealybugs. Pest number 3 with the cigar brown body are thrips. Pest number 4 with the small brown rounded clumps are scale. And lastly, pest number 5 that loves new growth, weirdly, are aphids. Did you get all of these right? Let me know down below. Also, what did you think about this new format? I had so much fun doing it. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Also, let me know which ones you'd like them about. And if you want to be notified every single time I post, ring that bell. With that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for spending it with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, bye!